Guys, today we're gonna be doing something just a little bit different. We're gonna be doing a game review. In today's game review, we're gonna be talking about Mad City. And I know what you're thinking. Isn't Mad Diddy just a dumb, good-for-nothing cash grab ripoff of our beloved Jailbreak? No, it's not. And I'll explain why. Whoa. The way everyone sees it is that Mad City copied Jailbreak, but that isn't true. It's more like Jailbreak and Mad City copied Prison Life, and then Prison Life copied all these games. And all these games are just ripoffs of 50 Cent's Bulletproof for the original Xbox. I hope that was made very clear, because I had to make this in Paint, and it took me a while. Drake! So now that we've established that nothing is real, everything is a lie, and all your favorite games are just washed up blatant ripoffs of ya boy 50, let's get into why I actually really like this game, even though it has a lot of flaws and every other server I join is broken. We'll get into that, but I really just want to start off with this. I really like the guns in this game. Like, I really like the guns in this game. Every single movement feels fluent. You can pop out behind the barrier, shoot someone, reload, take out a grenade, throw a couple of those, switch over your rocket launcher, shoot them in the face. I mean, you can try to shoot someone with the rocket launcher. It's really difficult. I don't expect you to actually land a shot, but if you can do it, congratulations. You're basically God. Similarly to Jailbreak, it doesn't limit your ammo. Obviously, with regular guns like pistols, ARs, it's not going to limit your ammo, but in Jailbreak, it limits your ammo when you have grenades or rocket launchers. You have to buy them. Every 10 grenades you use costs like $50,000. Nuh-uh. Not in this game. You can just shoot those babies infinitely, which makes for a really fun gameplay right off the bat. And even if you didn't do all the work killing someone, you still get experience points from just being there and participating, which I think is a great idea, especially in Roblox, because you don't feel robbed when someone just happens to put the last shot in the guy you were trying to kill for like a half an hour. Obviously, that's an exaggeration, but you understand what I'm saying. Each team has unique ways of rewarding you when you ultimately have to fight someone. That's what this game's about. It's about stealing things and defending yourself, or trying to stop people from stealing things and be like, no, you don't do that because you go to prison. That's what happens after you steal. Heroes and cops get rewards from bounties, and villains and criminals have to defend themselves in heists in order to get away with the money. Can you say balance? Oh, we're all throwing grenades. What have I started? I'm sorry. I think what makes this game great is that it's completely broken, and that's what makes it fun. Jailbreak is too fixed. You need to break it a little more. Leave some room for the imagination. I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I'm pretty freaking good at this game. I say that realizing I'm a grown man playing a children's game, but let me feel good. Come on. Somehow they made this part of the game really refreshing, but not overly complicated. In order to escape the prison, you need to search trash cans and boxes around the prison, where you'll get items that'll help you escape. Sometimes you get items that'll help you escape right away. Other times they need to be crafted, and usually crafting systems in Roblox especially get way too complicated, way too fast, to where it's not even fun anymore. But luckily, crafting does not take too long. This one simply just makes things for you based off what you're carrying. It doesn't really take that long to get out either. Sometimes you get stuck having to craft, but even when you do, you only have to find 1 or 2 items before you get a hammer or a knife, and you can just stab a cop and leave. But most times you get a rope or a spoon, and you're out of the prison before you can say how to do it. Now, I know in the game they're called heroes, but for the sake of reference, let's just call them supers for right now, because you can become a super villain. You know, it's not just good guys that have powers. Bad people could have powers too. When you join the game, there are 3 options, even though it's more like 2.5 options, but I'll explain that. You get to be a cop, a hero, or a prisoner. Cop and prisoner are pretty self-explanatory, but hero is basically just a cop with superpowers, which begs the question, why in the world would you ever pick the cop team? I seriously have no idea. I can only assume they're gonna add some stuff in the future that makes cops more interesting. Right now, being a cop is boring. Like I mentioned earlier, you can become a supervillain, but only if you kill a super and take their power, which is not always guaranteed. Sometimes they drop their power, sometimes they don't. Or you can sneak into the superhero's base and steal their super suits, which is awesome. That's just amazing. The fact that you even have that option right off the bat, you don't have to pay for it. If this was Jailbreak, they'd be like, oh, we got superpowers now. After 1,000 Robux, thank you very much. Okay, I think I made up that part about sneaking in to the hero base and taking the powers. I'm just not giving it to me. We gotta harvest them. Give me your powers. They should probably fix this, huh? This is probably gonna take away a few points on the final verdict, I think. Give me the there we go. That's all I really wanted. Later. Goodbye. Catch me if you can, nerds. By limiting the prisoners and giving cops these powers right away, it helps to balance out the game in a way that really wasn't possible in Jailbreak. Obviously, the problem was simple. Everybody wants to be a prisoner. I want to be a prisoner. No, I want to be a prisoner. Shut up. I'm a prisoner. I get to escape, but you have to bring me back to jail. You gotta do the boring stuff that nobody else wants to do because it sucks. If you like being a cop in Jailbreak, unless it's on a super serious role-playing server, you got problems. And you're also the kid that probably snitches on other kids eating food in class. Yes, I used to eat food in class, and no, I have not forgiven you, Jeremy. You narc. Can you please let me out, please? Just get out of my way. Can you move? If you just move, I can leave, and then we can get this over with, whatever we're doing right now. We can just come to an understanding, I'm sure. If you could just get out of my way. This is impossible. Okay. Now I'm angry. I don't got a lot to say about the map. Aesthetically speaking, the map looks amazing. It's based off Miami Vice, which is awesome, and you can even tell it took heavy inspiration from GTA games. However, the content of the map, yeah, honestly, it's big enough. It's mostly empty, but that's fine because it's mostly used as a backdrop for what you're doing in the game. It's not really supposed to be this huge explorable place. For instance, a lot of the time, you're just flying back and forth between whatever heist you happen to be doing and the pier safe house, which is where you can smuggle your money to Colombia into an offshore bank account that's not taxable by the US government. I mean, the map being empty isn't really a huge deal right now. I mean, the game's been out for 5 days, so it's like, I'm not too disappointed just yet. I realize that this is a Roblox game, and usually the majority of things that get added to these Roblox games release after they've already come out. And while we're on the topic of the map, the heists within the game are really cool. It doesn't really bring anything inherently new to the table, but it gets the job done, you know. It's pretty good for what it is. My only complaint here is that sometimes it's easier to just walk back out through the front door than it is to finish the heist the way the developers intended. Oh yeah, and the casino is like always broken. Please fix this. It's like my favorite heist, man. You can't take this away from me. Jailbreak doesn't have these bad boys right here, yeah! Honestly, here, they leave a lot to be desired. I haven't driven many of the higher level cars. However, right off the bat, you can tell that they aren't nearly as well designed as Jailbreak's cars at all. That being said, this game isn't a racing game. I don't care about the cars. Really, I'm sorry. It's a game about stealing things, shooting people, and escaping to a certain objective. As long as I can do those things fairly well, I'm fine. I mean, they got spike strips, so I guess that's kind of cool, but it doesn't really have anything to do with the cars, so... If I wanted a racing sim, I'd play that hyper-realistic one that one guy is making. Before I give you my final verdict, I also just want to go over a few things that Mad City does better than Jailbreak. You don't need a key card to rob the bank. It doesn't take away your money if it teleports you out of the heist before you leave. It doesn't make you drive all the way to the vehicle you want to use if you already own it. Instead, you just spawn it wherever you are using your phone. You can do this. No. If you get caught with a weapon when you die, you just automatically go to jail instead of cops needing to handcuff you in order for you to go to jail. So this doesn't ruin the gunfights by turning cops into mindless zombies that can't shoot back and they just like run at you with handcuffs trying to... I assume the reason Jailbreak even made the handcuffs so overpowered is because it was nearly impossible originally to arrest people otherwise. But this, I feel, is a good middle ground if the game can clearly tell you were doing something you weren't supposed to and you die from a cop, then clearly you should be in prison. All in all, Mad City is a decent game that just does Jailbreak a little bit better. It gives a lot more freedom to the player without limiting you or hiding the really cool stuff behind a paywall. They do have microtransactions, but they seem quite restrained compared to most other Roblox games. However, with the future updates, we'll see how long that lasts. Am I right, boys? Am I right, boys? Am I right, boys? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Final verdict. 2 out of 3. It's not a very large scale because, you know, Roblox games can only get so good. And I mean, at the end of the day, they really just copying my boy 50 Cent. I mean, this game isn't even that good.